Hi, Gene from Cincinnati here. This is my first YouTube how-to video. What I'm going to do is change the oil pressure sensor on this 2013 5th generation Camaro SS 6.2 liter. First we pop the hood. Going to find the hood release latch, raise it up. Has 36,000 miles on it. Doesn't look bad for a car with so many miles. I got to remove the engine cover. And to do the engine cover, I have to take off the oil fill cap. Set the oil fill cap aside. The engine cover I'm going to lift from the front. Give it a little bit of tug from the back. There's the two clips right here that go into the back. So that's what holds that on. I'm going to set it aside. What we're changing is the oil pressure sensor, and it's right behind the intake. This is your intake here. It goes back, and if you reach and see right where it stops, that's where it's going to be. That right there is what we're changing. It's got a blue cap. Now what I like to do before I get started, and I'm a shade tree mechanic, is I like to protect my work surface. So I'm going to put a towel over my wife's car so I don't scratch it. I double check my shirt's out, covering my belt buckle so I don't nick anything up. I lay this out. I want to put my tools down, so I put another little layer here, lay my tools in. The socket to change that is a 27 millimeter socket. It's a 27 millimeter deep well socket. I've been told that you can rent them from AutoZone or O'Reilly. It's the oil pressure sensor socket. But if you're like me, I'd rather buy one for $9. I think mine was $9.75 or something. And now I got it forever if I have to redo it. So I first have to undo the top. And if I did my research right, there's going to be a clip that I have to lift up, and then I can squeeze it and lift the top off. If I show you the new one, what the new one looks like, this is what we're working with. So I've got to remove the clip off of there. I got to raise it, squeeze it, it'll release it off of there, then I can lift it up. And I've got to do this blind because I can't see in there to see what I'm working with. So I'm going to reach in, and depending on how long this takes, okay, so I've reached in there behind the intake and felt it, and it feels like where the catch is that I have to undo is facing away from me. So I'm going to put my hand in and try to click it up, squeeze it, and lift it off. That's what I'm going to attempt to do right now. So I'm going to reach in here behind it. All right, I hear something clicking. I'm lifting it up. I'm squeezing, pulling, and I believe it popped off. There it is. There it is. So that's what holds it on. Right there. Okay. So now I need my socket. And I'm gonna see if I can get this on there. Might need an extension. Let me get the socket on there first. Don't want to drop it. Okay, you heard it click on there. And let me see how far away this is. That's not too bad. Okay, I try to start off with a 1/2 inch ratchet and it was too big. It wouldn't fit in there. I thought I was going to need an extension. But what I did is I went to my 1/4 inch and I put a 1/2 inch adapter, and I think that amount of extension is just what I need. So I'm going to put it on, and all right, well, I finally got my adjustable ratchet on there, and my 1/4 inch into my 1/2 inch into my 27mm socket, but it was so tight I have no leverage to break it loose. So I grabbed a jack handle and I'm using it as a breaker bar. So I'm just going to slide it on the handle a little bit to give me some leverage. And there it goes. So now that it's broke loose, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and screw it out by hand. This is what everything looked like when I had it all together. That's the 27mm. The adjustable ratchet head really came in handy to be able to get where I need it to go. I'm going to reach under, and it is turning. And okay, and I just got it. Took about 10 seconds. And there is hopefully our culprit of why that is not working. My wife was driving it. The gauges went to, the oil pressure went to 0, and the check engine light came on. We ran the code, and the code showed that this is what it is, holding up to each other. They look like the exact same part. This one already comes with Teflon or some kind of sealant in there. So I'm going to attempt to put this back in. If we have to take a break, my son Alex, who has a lot smaller hands, is going to reach in there and probably put this in there for me. But this is my attempt with my bigger hands to try to get this into that hole. Okay, we've got it in. My son helped me get it down into the port, and we started tightening it, and you can see how this adjustable ratchet now kind of comes in handy, but it's just slow go. I'm going to keep going until it starts to feel tight. All right, you saw that we hooked the wire back up. And again, wasn't easy. There's nothing easy to it, but I think it's saving hundreds of dollars from the dealer doing it. So we're going to give it a test fire and hope. We might have to reset the check engine light, but hopefully our oil pressure gauge will work.
Oh, Goodyear, all major.
Okay, our oil pressure gauge is going up. It's going down. And so we just started it, and we panicked a little bit because it stayed at 0 for about 8 or 9 seconds, and then after 8 or 9 seconds it went up and it's reading what it should read. The check engine light is still on, but I'm sure we'll have to look at the manual to reset that, and we should be good to go. It took maybe a half an hour to do this. Not easy. Smaller hands the better, and a lot of patience. So good luck with your Chevy Camaro. This is Gene from Cincy, his son Alex, the cameraman, saying good luck, and all you shade tree mechanics.